Hello, guys and gals. I'm here to talk to you about yet another subject. Um, no one's really been following me for now, but I shouldn't even say that about myself. But let's just say that there's so many things that you could really report on, questions I'd like to ask, and questions I should be asking, um, that I should reach out and you know try to touch base with the developers and things like that. But a lot of times they don't answer. Um, so, um, um, I mean, because I have questions, and part of the reason I started this was because no one asks these questions, or they're afraid to ask these questions because I guess they don't want to be shown in a negative light or whatever like that. Um, for whatever reason. So maybe I'm going to try it. What's the worst I could lose? I mean, it would only just gain me some attention and things that I deserve. You know, I assume I deserve these things just to have people watch. I'm not doing this for any other particular reason. Just to meet people and become part of a community that I've always loved my entire life. Um, so, with that being said, today I want to talk to you about Bethesda. I'm sure some of you have heard. There's been some good news for people like me who are Doom fans. Um, you can't really, I have to raise my hand here because you can't really see that I'm touching my chest going, hey. But at QuakeCon this year, they released Doom 1, 2, and one of my personal favorites, 3, on new gen consoles. I should say uh, current gen consoles. Um, Here I was excited, and I'm glad I didn't download this game or think about it, but I absolutely love Doom 1, 2, and 3. But of course, Doom 1 and 2 were a lot older, but I loved Doom 3. I just love it. I don't know why, I just love Doom 3. It's a great game. I just love how it was put together. I don't know if it's a story. I just love the game. I think it's a great game. I'm happy to see that on Twitch, people are still playing it. Well, Bethesda with Doom 3, you have to keep accessing your Bethesda account. So if you don't have internet, that's a problem. If you're in a place where there's no internet, it's a problem. Um, Now, it's not so much a big deal for the first two, because once you access it, you can play them all the time. Uh, Also, apparently, I don't know if they're going to fix this, but apparently, if you downloaded those games before this happened, and you try to download them now, you won't be able to. So, for example, if you bought the original Doom 1 or Doom 2 on, I guess, on your Xbox Live or your, PSN uh, store, and you deleted it and you tried to re-download it, apparently it's giving you a problem. Hopefully Bethesda takes care of that, because that's not going to make people too happy since they already bought the game, um, which they'll probably make you know, access their account. Um, I was going to open up a video about Bethesda about something else, but I'll add that in. But it is kind of awkward, and the only possible reason that some people are saying the reason that Bethesda is doing that, it's not just to really get account likes or account desperate to get people to like Bethesda accounts, but the DRM, which basically is piracy, I guess, to prevent piracy. That's about it. But I mean, it seems a little excessive, especially with Doom 3 when you have to keep accessing the account all the time. Um, and it was funny because I was thinking about buying Doom 3 just to be able to play it. It's not only about $5 cheaper, as far as I know, than it is when you buy it physically at GameStop. But I'll be able to access it all the time. Now I'm happy that I kind of didn't buy it because I don't exactly want to do that every time. I wouldn't be a problem where I'm at, but I'm thinking, gee, I won't be able to play it offline wherever I go if I were decided to go somewhere, you know. Um, but uh, uh, so we're going to see what happens with Bethesda. I mean, when you get a lot of negative, uh, a lot of negative PR, they might consider redoing it or releasing a statement of some kind. I mean, fans are just not happy. Um, that's understandable. I can see why. I guess to add more to it is that these are old games. They don't have a online. There's no reason to. They don't have any need to be online. Plus, it's not like they're doing something to the game, like enhancing it or fixing something on it. So people are really like, you know, why with the overkill? There's no reason to be online all the time. I mean, just really, really bad PR. Like I said, they're making it, and they're just making it worse. If it wasn't one thing, it's another when you bought it and you can't re-download it now. Oh, gee. Um, but continuing with Bethesda, um, I wanted to throw out something there that apparently, I'm not going to go much into detail. I love first-person shooters. I'll always tell you that. So I was disappointed that apparently Wolfenstein Youngblood, I've been playing it. I think it's all right. Um, it's getting mixed reviews. Some people like it, other people don't. It seems like the fans are a little unhappy with it. Now I haven't played it long enough. Apparently, I've noticed the tutorials are coming at me slow, and I just got to the silver coins not that long ago, even though I had been picking them up. So I didn't get to the gold bars. I'm assuming that when I get to the gold bars, it's going to tell me about you can buy them, and apparently these gold bars you can buy them, and basically microtransactions. So I'm not going to get too much into detail there, but the game totally took like a 180 or 360 or something. Uh, totally went in a different direction. I don't particularly co-op so much because it's always that one thing where that other person dies and you're like you got to run around, you got to try to save them or you lose a life. Always the way, but it's luckily this AI isn't that wonky and easy. It wasn't like I was reviving my sister that many times. I will say this, I'd like to get, if I ever do talk about it, I might, but I would get depth into it some other time. So I'm not going to talk too much about it since not only did I not play the whole game, but just, it's best to wait till the smoke settles till you get the entire picture till you finally write a review or you say what fans think, and it's looking like the fans aren't very happy right now. And, you know, my brain doesn't see those things. I only see what I enjoy. So, I'm moving around like, oh, this game's pretty cool. It's pretty violent. I could see why people kind of call it Borderlands. But, I personally think it's okay. If you do watch this and you're one of those people who, and this is smart, who wait and they read reviews. Right now, still you can get this game for the original copy for $30, so it's not terribly expensive. Like half the price of the original game. But if you want to wait, maybe heck, games I notice that do bad, their price is lower quickly. So if you just want to wait, maybe you know till it lowers to half for $10 or something, you see it used. That's probably your best bet if you're going to be disappointed. Um, but personally, the game's still decent to me. Um, I have to say that on an off note, I get a little jealous about game news websites. I mean, I'd like to be one of those too, maybe one day. Um, but there's really the problem is as a company, you don't want to generate bad press for your game before it releases. Uh, and this might explain another point that we're getting to um, later. This is the original point that I wanted to bring up. But you don't want to generate that bad press, and when you go to uh, gaming news websites, you see, um, you usually see like the review basically the day it's released. You know, um, a lot of games are getting early releases or something, but you basically see it like that day. And the thing of it is, if you went and you bought it and you're like, oh, I can't wait to play this, this looks exciting, or you've been a fan of the series for your whole life for decades, and you put it in and you find out it's not good. It's kind of crappy, like, oh, I wish I didn't buy this. You don't know it from the reviews. A lot of them are positive, or a lot of them aren't really, like the fans are complaining about microtransactions and this and that, and it's like you don't see that on the websites, and so you don't know what to buy. You're left there like, oh, this game looks, and you end up buying it, and you're like, oh crap. Um, so that leaves. I mean, for some people who are like, hey, well, that's why you wait, and well, I mean, that's hard. That's hard for us who, I mean, if you saw what happened with Diablo, like longtime Diablo fans, it was always on the PC, and then it went to mobile. So when you're a long time, fan of a genre, or not just a game series, and it's traditionally, on the PC, or traditionally the game you've come to expect, you don't think much of it. You're just excited to get it, and then it's just like, oh wow, I should have waited. So that's my advice to you. If you're not in a hurry, just wait till you see the game, or even $10. Heck, if it does bad, believe me, it won't be long before it's very cheap. I mean, it's only $30 now, but you know, I mean, how do you really avoid that? I mean, Bethesda doesn't want, you know, they don't exactly want people with putting negative lights on their products before they buy them, because it's going to hurt the sales. So, um, which gets me into my next point. Um, my original video is going to be why I remember when Rage 2 came out. Like I found out like 2-3 months, like 1 month and a half. Like Rage 2, like I don't remember that being announced, and I don't remember anything being said. I don't remember anything being hinted, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Rage 2 is coming out, and I was like, well, I thought Rage 1 was decent. I remember loving it, I should say liking it a lot, and I felt it was short, and I was like, oh, cool, I can't wait till the second one comes out, and they were talking about it, and they announced it, and they were talking, I remember when Id was talking about it, and then all of a sudden they were like, canceled. So then all of a sudden they re-announced it, and it's actually coming out, and I was like, cool. So I, put a uh, pre-order on it, because I was like, oh, I gotta definitely get this. Definitely get the expanded version. And I did a video earlier before about more news on it, and that was so I'm happy about that. And then you know, and then I'm kind of thinking like, gee, there wasn't any real press on it or nothing. And then same thing with Wolfenstein Youngblood. And then I think the VR version is like cyberspace or something like that. Don't forgive me on the name. And I'm kind of thinking like, why aren't they advertising? Like, There's a couple theories to this. As I said before, maybe they don't think they're confident in their product. It doesn't really seem to make any sense. But I remember when New Colossus was released, here Bethesda was getting some flack from people who were, turning it political, like, oh, you hate white people. You're releasing this because you're trying to say, we need to kill white people. They're all just Nazis. And that was not the case at all, because it was just following the storyline. Remember when New Order came out? There was nothing like that. So, there's no real evidence to back that up. Um, it was just following the storyline. And, they responded. I can't exactly remember the response, but, basically it was what I said, like, it was just the timing. We don't, there's nothing political here. There's no hints of any kind. Um, but so it's possible if they thought, any negative press. I don't know. Frankly, it would just, as they say, no, no press is bad press. So it would have only helped them. I remember when Grand Theft Auto got in the news, their sales went right through the roof. Um, so you know, uh, nothing could be said. Um, all right. I'm trying to think. I think that's really it. Um, there is, we could say Doom Eternal. There, but the thing about it is they have been talking about Doom Eternal. I think it's more because it's property. I guess it's both, but that's a big, 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 big franchise. So, and so is Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is huge. That was its first-person shooter, and you know, so it shouldn't be taken lightly. Um, but what do you think of this whole situation? What do you think of Bethesda? What do you think with Youngblood? People's disappointment in it. There's going to be some idiots who are going to come out there and call you babies because you didn't like what they gave you. Basically, they're doing you a favor, which they're not. Um, but what are your thoughts about this whole situation? Like I said, if you're a huge first-person shooter fan, or maybe Wolfenstein, you might consider picking it up. But if not, um, I'd say wait. Like I said, I highlighted a problem within the industry, which I don't blame them to not want to, make bad press for their games. But it makes you wonder. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Um, you know, whether it's hush hush or not. But I mean, you know, the thing of it is you're at a disadvantage. Uh, and I can't review games without paying for them. So, uh, but no one really wants to be cut off. But that's a whole different story because we don't know. You can't expect every gaming news website to news outlet to shine awesomeness on your games, even if it's bad. But I'm glad to see that they're third party, they're open minded. At least you get an idea of what you're playing. But it doesn't really on that afterthought. It doesn't matter what they think; it's what we think as a consumer. You know, if we think it's bad, if we think it feels like an expansion, we think we're paying, or we think we don't like it, they can call us whatever we want. But we are the customer. So if we don't like it, we don't like it because we're the ones paying for it. And if we're the babies about it, well then let us be babies. But this is Al signing off. Like I said, as always, rate, comment, subscribe. Make sure, I would love to hear your comments on the subject, even if you disagree with mine, really. Because sometimes, just having a different opinion doesn't mean you're wrong. But I would like to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe I got someone who has a lot of insight. I need to start doing that myself. But I've come to, you ever heard of that? You ever heard someone say, well, why complain when no one listens? I've come to come to the fact where it's just like feels like you're wasting your time if you're asking companies questions and you just never get an answer. But someone's bound to take you seriously, and maybe that would help me because it would just shine light on me at some point. But anyway, have a great day. Um, Hope you have a nice Monday, and like I said, rate, comment, subscribe, and please. Some people say hit the like button. It doesn't matter, but just subscribe. Maybe if you want to hit the like button, go ahead. Hit this like button. I don't care. Have a great day. Now signing off, and goodbye.